All right. Today, we want to talk about power, right? When I say power, I mean the ability to act, influence, or control yourself or others. That kind of power. That's what I'm talking about. And what I'm realizing is as I continue to educate myself and I sit here and I reflect on my own personal situations, you know, I'm realizing that people always say life is a balance. There's good, there's bad. It's up to you to find the balance in the middle, right? But one of the things that I personally wasn't aware of were, I guess I could say, like power dynamics in like relationships, right? And what I mean by that, I never understood what it meant when they said you don't dim your light for anyone else. I never really understood what that meant. But like I'm saying, as I'm getting older now, this concept of power is something that I've been educating myself about. And as I'm sitting here reflecting, I can see how a lot of relationships went sour because of this. Um, Power is this delicate balance where you don't want, I shouldn't say you don't want too much. Everybody wants power. But it's like your actions affect the pendulum of equality in the relationship in regards to power. And you might just be a genuine good person. And as a result, that shines a light on the other person that highlights their insecurities. And because you did that, they're now going to go ahead and retaliate. But in your head, you weren't thinking about this thought process. You understand? Like you were helping them out of the general goodness of your heart. And I feel like I've had a situation that happened to me where I helped a person out and it was not to get something out of it. Like I didn't do it with an ulterior motive. Like I feel like it was genuinely just like in my nature to try to help this person out. But as I sat back and I reflected, I realized that through me doing all the things that I basically, did for them, I kind of undermined their own self autonomy, you know, where I most likely made them feel insecure by doing what I was doing. But when I was doing it, I didn't realize that my actions were causing them to feel insecure, because I wasn't thinking about it from that perspective. Um, so as a result, if I've taken something away from a person, they're gonna have to take something, well, they're gonna have to take it back from me, and the way in which they might choose to take it back from me is one that I might not necessarily understand. So, as I'm getting older, again, and as I'm educating myself, I'm realizing now there's a lot of power dynamics in relationships. I mean, it's in every relationship. And if anyone else is like me out there who just like naive, like naive in the sense of just like, I believe in do good and like you'll receive good. Like that's how I look at the world. And I'm realizing that there's more layers to it than that because just because I believe I'm doing good for a person, it's like it doesn't mean they'll interpret it or receive it as good. And that's like a part that's like, what do you mean? That wasn't good? And it's like, yeah, it was good what you did, but let me show you how the way I internalized it, you actually were undermining me here. You weren't trying to help me. You were doing more harm than you were good. You know? They always say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So just because your intentions are good doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing what's best for the other person. That's your lesson today in power.